The Shadow Over Ville. I'm into urban exploration. I know, kind of a sketchy hobby. I had a week off work and, along with my buddy Malcolm, was all set for a swing through Sowesto, southwestern Ontario, when Mal crashed his bike and ended up in the hospital with a broken leg. As a result, my choices were stay at home and waste time on the net, or go alone. Alone. I don't like exploring alone. It's too dangerous. What if there's an accident or you encounter hostile people? Still, I wasn't going to waste the week, so in spite of my misgivings, I went. Alone. My first stop? Chipville. Chipville, an abandoned potato chip factory I'd visited as a child. The plant was situated in a rural backwater and was long defunct. We had gone there on a class trip in about grade 5, but the only thing I really remembered was the free samples. Yum, yum, burp. I arrived early afternoon. It was fall and the skies were overcast, but I figured I'd have about 4 hours of light to explore with. And I had a headlamp as well as an industrial-size, heavy-duty flashlight, so I wasn't worried. The first thing I noticed was the company logo. Chipper. Chipper, a potato chip with dark eyes, nostrils, and a pearly white smile. Kind of like a svelte version of Mr. Potato Head. He was a staple of childhood, his flat face beaming out from the cover of your latest bag of barbecue or plain or whatever chips. Somewhere along the line, Chipper, like so many other relics of childhood, disappeared. But here he was, glorified in the huge sign I remembered from my long-ago visit. He was battered, weathered, and dented, but he was still up there, still beaming. I entered through a side door which led into a long, empty, save for dust, a long, empty corridor, which then led into a vast space shrouded in darkness. The plant floor. The plant floor, a jumble of empty vats, conveyor belts, and pallets of faded cardboard boxes, all bearing the Chipper logo, which began getting on my nerves. That grin. It might have been early afternoon, but the darkness was taking control, to the point I had to activate my headlamp and my heavy flashlight, the lights casting shadows which added an element of spookiness to the huge room. Still, I noticed two unusual things. No garbage, no graffiti. Oh, the place was dirty and dusty, but there was no sign of any visitors, even though the place had been closed since the early 2000s. I began to feel distinctly uneasy. In fact, the skin on the back of my neck began to prickle. The place had gone deathly quiet. But still I felt I wasn't alone. I swiveled the flashlight around the room, and that's when I saw the girl. Or should I say young woman? She was barefoot and clad in a plain white dress, which shone in the all-encompassing darkness. And I recognized her. Now, when I say I recognized her, I don't mean as a person I knew. No, she was a composite, an amalgamation of dozens of girls I'd gone to school with. Girls whose name I never knew, never talked to, never paid any real attention to. This was one of those girls. Her dark eyes stared hard at me, but her plain face displayed no emotion. Hello, I said, trying to mask my fright. You startled me. You have to leave. You're in danger. What? You have to leave now. Her voice was audible but insipid, completely flat, even though she was giving me a warning. But why? And who are you? You can call me Jane. Well, Jane, what are you doing here? You must go. But what? Because of the others. She took a step towards me, her lank hair, pale face, and white dress, making me think for some reason of vanilla? The others, they will harm you. Go. Too late, someone bellowed. Too late. And as I turned to look, I caught a whiff of cooked meat. A person stood behind me, or what remained of one, for their flesh was seared and burned a deep orange hue. They advanced towards me, their flesh radiating heat, as they raised hands with long fingernails that ended in flames like candles. To be continued.